Hello my spooky friends, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am going to be sharing my progress of my Halloween journal with you. Now, I started this really late. You know, you guys have heard me talk on this channel about my issues with time. My time management, I have to say, is excellent. It's my perception of time. And I'm always a month behind. I don't know what it is, but I always feel like I'm in the previous month, not in the actual month. It is quite strange, I have to say. Needless to say, I started this late. I had all the intentions of starting my Halloween journal in October, like the first week of October, like a good Halloween enthusiast does. But that didn't happen. I was too busy making Halloween decorations for my front lawn, I guess, if I'm really honest. But anyhow, I started this a week and a bit ago, so it's not terrible, but, you know, like TikTok lady, I should have been on this much sooner. It's going in the notes section of things that I need to do next year in a better way that I didn't do this year. But anyhow, I thought it would be fun to show you where I am in this. It's turning out great, I have to say. I did do a video of me putting it together in the sense, like, right at the very beginning. I had sort of decided in my mind that this year I wanted to do something that was a little simpler, I suppose, smaller, and I can't really articulate why. I don't have any specific reasons for having that kind of criteria. It's just something that I kept thinking about over and over again. And so I decided instead of fighting it, I'd just go with it, right? So this is not the normal sort of tall 12 by 6 journal that I quite like to make for myself. This one is, I don't even know, smaller. You know, it's basically an 8 by 10 sheet folded in half. And I didn't do a fancy cover because I want to add things to it as I go along. And of course I did put my favorite spooky lady on it with this that I used on the journals that I made for my website and my Etsy shop. What I decided to do was I just used coffee dyed paper. I mean, we'll go through it. I'll turn the camera around and I'll show you what I've done. But I just decided that I had a ton of coffee dyed paper that went kind of sideways and didn't look great, that I didn't want to put in the journals for you guys that I made to go on my website. So I had hung on to those and I thought, well, just use them in my journal because I'm just going to cover the paper up anyways, right? So basically that's all I did. So once I'm done with my little introduction here, I will show you the process that I went through very quickly. I forget how many pages I put in here. I think there was 12 or 15 because I wanted to do, I knew I was going to want to add tip-ins and things like that. And the thing that I always do is I make them too big with too much stuff in them and then I don't fill them and then it's a whole thing. So I just decided to keep it simple, keep it smaller. And then if I decided that I wanted to add in things with washi tape, meaning add in extra pages, then I can do that, right? So we're going to do that. I'm excited to show you. I also had this thing in my brain that I wanted to sort of create. The only comparison I can come up with is like an advent calendar. And I wanted to have secret hidden journaling spots that I pulled out. But I didn't want it to be something that was really laborious and take a ton of time because I was a little bit behind. So I'll show you what I did with that. I'm very excited. I have to say it turned out great. Now, just before we start the flip through, I would like to ask you a little bit of a favor. I am curious what you think makes a good and interesting email newsletter. I'm going to be dusting off my little newsletter and putting some real serious concerted effort into making my emails, I don't know, not boring for lack of a better word. And I have a few ideas about what I think makes an interesting and compelling and worthwhile opening email newsletter. But I would really like some input from you guys about what kind of things do you like to see in an email newsletter besides the obvious discounts, coupons, and those things are great and we all love them and very much appreciate them. But I kind of want to take it a little bit beyond just, I don't know, coupon codes, because it feels kind of impersonal. And I figure if I'm going to put the time and effort into the newsletter and you're going to give me your time, which you guys know how much I appreciate, of opening it and reading it, I don't want it to feel like just another boring email newsletter. I'm thinking like, I don't know if you guys like inspirational stuff, if you guys would want me to share other interesting creators or YouTube people with you that I found, links to certain things that you might think, that I think that you might think might be interesting, little stories, like I'm just kind of throwing some stuff out there to see what sticks. So I would be very grateful if you would either leave me something in the comment section down below or send me an email and let me know what it is that you really enjoy about some of your favorite email newsletters that you get in your email. Right? I have put this off for a long time, not because I don't want to do it, but because I don't want to send out something that's just really kind of dull. So anyways, any suggestions that you guys have, I'm all ears. I would love to know what you guys think. I really do, on so many levels, I really appreciate your opinions and your output. Output? Well, that doesn't seem right. I appreciate your opinions and your insights. There you go. Thanks, everybody. Okay, now let's get on to the good stuff. Here I'm just going through and deciding which of these coffee-dyed papers that I'd saved that I would use. In the end, I'm really happy with the ripped paper. The paper that I thought maybe would go in the garbage turned out to be real gold, I have to say. So I'm flipping through and I'm just deciding which, why, how many, and then I decide I don't really want the more blank ones in, so I take those out. I count through, I believe it's 12, I think that's good. So then we just go through and check out my cover, and I got the pockets in the front and the back, and then because kitties are my favorite, they go in the middle. And here we're just going to do a very simple 3-hold pamphlet stitch. And I really, it's very simple, it's very effective. And these days when it comes to making journals for myself, I'm finding that, simpler turns out normally to be better than making it complicated and saving myself a lot of frustration. So just get things tied up. And I'm super happy and excited to get into it. And yeah, so here we go, everybody. Let's get into it. Okie dokie, my friends, here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you sort of where I am with all of this. I do have some things that I've glued in, or, a lot of photos that I've taken and I've put them in, but I'm just going to give you an overview today, and then what I'll do is when the thing is finished next week, I will come back and do sort of the long version, if you will, of the flip through. I still have quite a few photos that I've printed off that I want to include. So there is going to be a bunch of stuff, postcards that I've sent out. I need to take photos of the postcards that I've sent to pen pals and friends because I always think I'm going to remember what I sent them. And I never remember. Never ever. Books, spooky books that I'm currently reading, and some of the things that I've made, decorations and things to go out to the front. And just little things that I want to remember, like I woke up the one morning and these two little fuzzy, beautiful souls were waiting for me to get up and let them out. And some stuff that we've made for Halloween. So, there's all kinds of things here still that need to go in. I've been anxiously watching the Weather Channel, trying to figure out what Halloween Day is going to be like. If it's a great day and it doesn't rain, my guess is that we're getting somewhere around 550 kids. That's what we got last year. And because everybody on my neighborhood, or on my street practically, decorates. So it's kind of a whole thing to come to our street, which is really amazing. But anyway, so there's still a lot to go in, and I'm just going to, like I said, let's just get started and I'll show you where I've gotten to. So because you guys know that I do enjoy hidden journaling, I have included quite a few pockets for myself and places to put, you know, like I went and walked down the street the other day. Some of these maple trees at the end of our street are just incredible. Like a photo really, well, certainly my photo isn't going to do it justice. But every year I think I should really walk down to the corner and take a photo. And of course I never do. So this year I made a point of making sure that I went down. And even though this tree has lost quite a bit already. So these are the sorts of things that I'm going to be putting. How cute is that? I saw this at the Value Village parking lot the other day. And it was like a, what do you call it? A vinyl cut with their... I was like, I have to have one of those. So it's stuff like this that I'm going to be putting on the back of my journal tags. Because I really decided that for this journal, this year, I want it to be more visual and about the photos that I've taken to document the month rather than a ton of writing. Because again, I'm kind of behind, but we'll see where I get. We'll see where I get. So I wanted to start off by, you know, really expressing my love for October. And I always love this quote by Lucy Maud Montgomery. I'm so glad I live in a world where there are Octobers. Yes, 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 yes. I had mentioned earlier that I wanted to have almost like an advent calendar component to this. So what I decided, first of all, I thought, okay, I was just going to print out the letters of Halloween, and then I was going to have these giant pockets, and I would just tuck things in the pocket. And on some level, that is sort of like an advent calendar in a weird way, right? You just open something up from in behind something. But then I thought, no, let's take it a little bit further. And so what I did, I decided that I wanted to have little cards that pulled out from each of the letters. So that's what I did. So I haven't put anything on the back of these yet. I haven't fully even figured out what I was going to do. Part of me was like, you guys know how I like to leave myself sort of like little, what I call Easter eggs through the journal, little reminders about where I am. Like I've got this photo that I found like on a Google search of a clock in autumn. Part of it is to remind myself about my use of time, how I consider time, my obsession with time. And so I thought maybe those are the kind of little Easter egg things that I want to leave on the backs of my little, I don't even know what else to call it. Advent, it's like, if you can think of something better, let me know in the comments. But then I thought, oh, maybe this would be a fun place to leave myself little quotes and things like that. And I'll probably do a mixture of all of the above. Because then I thought maybe I should put in the back, on the backs of these cards, very simple moments that happened in October, but things that brought me a lot of joy. Like just those really simple little things in life where you're like, that's the stuff, right? Like, I don't know, where's that photo of the girls waiting in the hallway for me to get up? I can't find it. Here, this woman, Lucy Wardsley, she's a British Museum curator. I always loved her hair, her little bob, and the dresses that she wears. So I just did a quick screenshot of something she had on that I found again in a Google search. And I thought, oh, maybe I'll put that there. So I don't know. Again, we could put the kitty, this kind of thing in here. That might be kind of fun. So we'll see. So then I've got my candle. Of course, you guys know that I love to put candles in my videos. And just basically I made my journal kind of look like how I make the journals that I sell for you guys. So it goes now. I've said this a million times, but just in case you missed it, for me Halloween really is black cats, witches, and haunted houses and ghosts. So that's primarily the focus and the theme of what I've got going on here, which is going to become apparently obvious really soon. This is a very interesting postcard that I got from my friend Xenia in Russia, and I love this. She and I very much share a love for things dark and spooky, and I just thought that that fit in behind Witchy Poo here perfectly. So that's that. This is a card that I got from my friend Emma in England, and I just took a picture of the back of it so that I could have reference to the QR code and the information on the back. And then I turned it into a pocket here, so we'll put some hidden journaling there. And I got the card on the 18th. So it was decided that I wasn't going to be able to do everything in some sort of, order of what day, like in actual order. So I just thought, I'm just going to put it in as I get it. So that came on the 18th. Then this was a t-shirt that I ordered last year, which I thought was hilarious, Hissing Booth. So I decided this year that I was going to make a hissing booth and put it on my front lawn. So it's done. I just have to do the lettering on the top and get the little sign here. Like, here, let me just see, in case. Oh my God, when I saw this t-shirt, I had to get it. So I think what I'm going to do here, the sign says free hisses, but I'm going to make a little sign here on mine that says hisses are 13 cents. And here, this is a little tip out. And you guys know that whenever I put a cat in a journal, I can't resist. I love putting a mouse or a little rat with her. So again, not, there isn't going to be a lot of room for journaling there, but I thought it was an interesting little silhouette to sort of stick in behind there. So we've got that. Okay, here's A. So then I thought, some creepy lady face would be fun. Creepy lady face. What am I, 8? Some ghoul. She gets tucked right in there. And then here's one of the little tip outs that I added in. And I'm just going to add something like this in here. Or when I get some postcards, because I know I have postcards coming from other pen pals, and I thought this would be a fun place to just tuck in some postcards as well. So that's that. And again, more tuck spots. And I had my friend Deneen send me some great Halloween ephemera last year, and I specifically saved it for this year to put in this journal. So thank you, Deneen. I love it. So put that in there. So I've already gone in and put in some stickers. And here is a coffin that I was inspired by on Pinterest. And then this is what we did with the coffin on our front lawn here, which I know the quality of the photos isn't great, so I apologize. But again, this is more about memory keeping and reminding myself what I made this particular year, what my inspiration was, and all that kind of stuff, right? So here we have 2 postcards that I received in October from pen pals, even though they're not necessarily Halloween specific. They're still going to go in. Actually, I lied. Those came in September, but both of these women love Halloween as much as I do, so I wanted to include them in the Halloween journal. And then again, I've started some journaling here about my African violets, which I couldn't believe. For the first time, I've had the 3 plants. There's 4 in total, and 3 of them had buds and flowers at the same time. I was like, it never happens. And then here is my Christmas cactus that I wasn't expecting to bloom again, and it did, so I had to take a photo. And then a little succulent that may or may not be on its last legs. We'll just have to wait and see. I almost never have success with the succulents. They look like they should be the easiest thing in the world, and for me, they're not. Okay, so here we go. This was one of my favorite images that I used this year in the journals. And then, of course, I have this very spooky gal in a spooky staircase, and I couldn't resist putting a ghost behind her. And then we'll do something back there. I love it. And here's the thing. In a million years, I would never go to a haunted house, especially by myself. I do not like to be scared. I do not like to be, but I love to live vicariously through Halloween because, I don't know, it's one of those weird things where it's, you don't ever want to be in that situation, but you would like to imagine what it would like to be in that situation, and that's how I feel about haunted houses. I know it's weird. It's weird. I can't quite articulate it, but I enjoy it. I enjoy thinking, oh, could I be brave in a haunted house? We all know the answer. But I would like to think that I could be brave in a haunted house. And again, more for journaling, pockets there. Here's L. And so there was a little bit of math involved because I had to figure out which way could I put my card in and give myself enough space here for the two-way tape and get everything down and also glue it around so that when it went in, it wasn't, it just had a really nice pocket to tuck in underneath there. So that's the first L. And then we've just got a tip out here with this switch I saw on Pinterest, and I really wanted to recreate her hat. So I did, which was a lot of fun. So that goes there. We'll talk about that more in detail later. Now, what I did with these pages underneath here are, stuck in there, the photos that I took during the process of making Witchy Poo and her hat. And then, I don't know why, but I just decided that I thought it would be fun to tuck them in underneath. And then have some fussy cuts here. Here's our L again. I thought L could be for languish. Ooh. Right? It's too much fun. Halloween for me is just, I'm a kid in a spooky candy store. And then here's a wrap around. You guys know how much I like to wrap paper around paper. We'll go through this later, but that's my postcard list. And here we have the cemetery on this side with spooky and some dreadful ghosts here with some happy mail stuff underneath there that we'll go get into later. How cute is this bat? Oh my god. Cat bat? Oh, it's so good. And then on this side, okay, so on this side, my favorite Poe poem is Annabelle Lee. And in a couple of the other journals that I made, I did sort of the same thing where I took out an image, or I included an image that I thought perhaps might be Annabelle Lee, the doomed love of the man of the poem, and put her in there. So that's why this is across from this, because I sort of envision the whole Annabelle Lee thing going on. Even though poor Annabelle Lee dies at sea, spoiler alert, I thought this was very fitting to go. And then we've got Peculiar here, which sort of ties everything together, right? And I was thinking about gluing this A here somewhere, but I'm not sure if that's a spooky enough A, so I didn't glue it down. And then there's just the poem there. And in the middle, we've got 3 black cats, and you guys know that I love to put cats and mice together, so that's why that's there. And I have to say, I enjoyed the ripped coffee dyed paper in this journal more than I thought I would. Yeah, because there, you know, sometimes we have it in our brain that these things need to be pristine and perfect and all of that kind of thing. But I'm really enjoying this. I might go around with some ink later and ink these edges. I haven't decided. This is here temporarily. This might be a sort of hidden pocket tip up thing. I haven't decided yet. So that's just stuck in there as a reminder. Then again, this is going to be the kind of thing where I just do this. I'm gonna, you know, I'm not sure what, but again, a cat bat. Cat bats were a running theme this year, I have to say. Here's another little witchy poo tip out. And then I've got this ghoulish face here that I think is going to be a tab up there like that. I think that could be fun. Here we have O. Oh. All right. There we go. Back in there, tucked away. This I haven't quite decided. This, I put the extra bit of cardboard on the back, thinking that it might be this. But then I kind of like the idea of gluing down the top and the bottom and doing more of this. But I have yet to decide. Curious creatures, indeed. Cat vampire. I mean, come on. Who doesn't love a cat vampire? Then this is another wraparound here. And I went yesterday or the day before, and I went down the street and I took a quick, oops, come back. I went and took some quick snapshots of the neighbors and what they have done so far. So that's very exciting. So that goes there. Again, another tip out here with more black cats and more witches, which I cannot get enough of. And that just goes, there's going to be a pocket for something there. This I just did with the two-way tape, and that's a tuck spot. I might put something else on top of that, you know, like this kind of thing. Like, I don't know. We'll see where it takes us. Here we have W. Ta-da! Right? This was a little bit tricky to figure out how to. It doesn't want to go in nice and smooth, but if I go up and around like that, then it seems to sit nicely in there. More of my favorite. And then we are rounding the end. So I left some blank pages for postcards and happy mail. And then here we have our first E for eerie. Oops. I have to say, I enjoyed doing this sort of Advent hidden thing. I really do. I mean, this turned out not to be that big of a challenge, but I do enjoy the challenge of thinking about how can I create a space for something to go in and hide behind. And I'm going to be doing more of that just because it's fun. Could not resist. This I didn't put a pocket on the back, but that's still an option. And then this here, what did I do? Oh yeah, I had this spooky paper from something else, so I thought it would be kind of fun to do a tip out that way, because I haven't done that yet. And then we'll have a little pocket here for something like that. And this is from my friend Deneen, so thank you, Deneen, for that. I hope you didn't think that I forgot about your generous and very kind ephemera that you sent me, but I was saving it specifically. Again, from Deneen. So I did a double pocket here, because I'm fancy that way. How cute. Mice and cats just go together. Here we have E. Eek. And then this I did something similar last year, and I made it way more difficult than it needed to be. Anyhow, that's the story of my life. Ooh. I thought, oh, how fun is it to have a ghost come out from behind a bookcase, right? Like, that's the oldest trick in the book as far as ghosts go. Anyways, for hidden journaling, I was trying to figure out, I need to find like a lock. I need to cut out a little picture of a lock, and then I was going to just glue the lock or use a brad, and then I could have the lock tip up and down. So stay tuned for that. And then, yes, just some blank pages at the back for some happy mail. And then the last, of course, N for Halloween. And that, my friends, is that. This is a letter from last year. Let's stick that in there. And then a little pocket here at the back. So there we have it. So that is where I am, my friends, with my Halloween journal journey of 2024. So I'm really happy with it. I'm excited to get the rest of this stuff included in there, and yeah, to just fill in some thoughts that I have, things that I want to remind myself about where my brain was this month, things that I was trying to problem solve, things that I'm trying to work through. You know, nothing too heavy, just kind of keeping it light and fun, but also just, again, a way of reminding myself in the years to come where I was in many aspects of my life when I was putting this journal together. So, I hope, as always, that you enjoyed that, and I hope it will inspire you in some way. Yeah, that's going to be fun to go there. Again, I really enjoy these kind of images, but do I want to be in a haunted house being chased by unknown ghouls? No, I don't. No, I don't. But anyhow, okay, thank you, everybody. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you, as always, for the gift of your time and spending this time with me and going through the journal. If you have any questions, please do leave them in the comments down below. And no sightings of the girls today. It's sunny and really, oddly, very warm out there today. So they are outside having a good time sleeping in the sun. If you like this video, please give it a little thumbs up. I really would appreciate it, and it really does help the algorithm here on YouTube know who to show me to and when and why and all of those sorts of things. Speak kindly to your spooky selves. Enjoy your spooky, ghoulish journal process until the next video when I come back and show you everything that is finished. Take good care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Mwah. Bye. Whoops, no, down here. Bye. Well, what do you think? Yeah.